filmmaker, and so many friends, and so many fond memories of Odisha, and a place of great culture, history, and I think, I have lost some of my very favorite filmmakers like Nirod is no more. He made such a wonderful film. I still remember. However, this film is a great experience for me because I met a real milestone. Not only a great musician, but a great mind. And a great mind, a great man of native wisdom, which is so deeply rooted in our culture. And a pure mind that is very important for our culture. And that is the real source of our culture. When you have a pure mind, So it's a great experience. And all my unit members were so excited. Bismilah Khan Sahab, when we met him, he said that, look, I really don't want any film on me. Because, Mia Tansen is still remembered by people. Is there any film on him? I don't know. Then, my producer said, but this is the age of cinema and all that. Why not a film? And then introduced me. Then he said, oh, Hare Baap Re Baap, aap to bahut bada aadmi hai. Then I said, no, Khan Sahab, in front of you, I'm a small filmmaker. And he agreed. He said, okay, write me down in 10 points in Urdu what exactly you want. Then I requested my poet friend, I am Rashid Khan, why don't you join me? And we write the script, and first we write the notes for him, whether he agrees or not. Then we met him again, he went through it and said, okay, I'll do it. I'll shoot for 4-5 days. Main buddha ho raha hu, I'm getting old. 4-5 days, maximum 5 days. Then, we went to Banaras, Banaras and Bismilah. Again, it's kind of an alchemy. Banaras is something fascinating, and how Bismillah's life is entwined with Banaras, you have seen it before. We went on shooting, first week, 10 days, 12 days. Then I said, Khan Sahab, the first part is over, we'll come back again during Muharram. Hey, itna jaldi khatam ho gaya? He said, for 4 days. I mean, 12 din ho gaya. No, I have so many things to give you. This is an artist, he got involved by then. And I've never seen such humility of an artist. That really taught me that what are we? They say that you have to be pure and you go ahead, that nobody can touch you. But you open the door, open the door and allow them to run in the path. But you have to reach with your perfection to that level that nobody can touch you. This is something unbelievable, a great teaching. So this film has really changed my concept of art. And also I have learned what is our composite culture. One simple thing is said, which I discussed during our interaction with the young friends, that early in the morning you get a dip in the holy river, Ganges, then go to the mosque for namaz and play at Balaji temple. So when we talk about secularism, what else is better than this? So it's a fantastic. He was a great man, and this film will remain in my heart till the end of my life. See if you have any questions. Yes, please.
Yeah. I feel movies basically are a reflection of what is happening in our society. So, would you today say that our film industry is sort of failing us in bringing about what is actually going on in our society, or do you think they are doing brilliantly, bringing in propaganda movies and other things?
Well, when I was making this film, that's few years before the demolition of Babri Masjid. So it was in the clamor, it's happening, tension. So Bismilah Sahab said that, why in the name of Avatar Ram, things are going like this? Humse zyada Ram naam koi nahi kiya. And what was his explanation? That because in hundreds and thousands of functions I did, every time the request comes, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram, please play. So I play Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram every time. And he was a little bit upset about what was happening in the name of religion and all that. Because I think, they had grown up in a different culture. And that's why he said that kuch karna chahiye for this country. And all his suggestions were musical, He said science ne kamal kiya, but kuch protection rakhna chahiye tha. What was that? If you put on the switch, the light comes out. Or the fan. No. Only surela admi dabane se jalna chahiye. And the most exciting suggestions he made that, बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है ये देश में. So let's make a panel of judges, only with musicians. Say Ravi Shankar, in those days Ravi Shankar, Alia Gorkha, who were alive, Bhimsen Joshi, all great musicians. And also me, he said, I'll be there in the panel. So the basic thumb rule is, for the post of President of India, he or she has to know at least 4 raga and 8 tal. For Prime Minister, at least 2 ragas and 4 tal. Rest of the minister and bureaucrats, at least 1 raga and 2 tals. That was his sort of understanding. So, if they know and understand music, they will do good for the country. So I think, you have given your answer in a different way. Questions, answers. Yeah. Please. It's an amazing person, unbelievable.
This is not a question, I just want to say thank you. It was so beautiful. And you could see that it was a master musician and a master filmmaker. A mixture of both of them. And the output was like mind-blowing. And I think it's one of the best documentaries I have seen, at least. And it was really good.
Thank you. And there's so many anecdotes, and of course, I was quite curious and intrigued that how to make a film on this master. Actually, normally for many years I don't use the usual long shot, mid shot, close shot, reverse angle OS. I've stopped using from my second film onwards, because I thought that's a very typical Hollywoodish dialogue scene kind of thing. And here, when I filmed him, because he was talking, he was singing, playing Shehnai, my assistant suggested, why don't you take a close-up? I said, look, it's like a secret arrow. I'll keep it till the end when I'll show him what he does with his finger. It comes only once. So it was all calculated, and it was spontaneous, but I was calculating the design. So it's so interesting. And his mind, and in one shot, it's a sync shoot, it's a sync shoot. We were shooting that he's playing Shehnai, and the camera was on trolley. I was taking the shot. I could hear My son was 2.5 years old. 2.5 years old and very naughty. What he was doing, he was taking the chips from the trolley bag and throwing. And I could hear while taking the shot. And Khasa was playing. Thanks God, the frequency was so high, the sound recorder didn't say cut. And of course, saying cut for our mistake was a little embarrassing in front of an artist like him. So after the shot was over, my wife slapped my son. Immediately, Khasa said, "Beti, suno, क्यों थप्पड़ मारा बच्चा को?" नहीं, Khasa was disturbing. No, he was showing those things absolutely on tal, on the beat. So, this is the musical mind. It's unbelievable. Once, he was playing. I asked him to play Kedara, and the first time I used HMI light because HMI light was introduced in Calcutta. I hired the light and used it for a little blue sun moonlit effect on the courtyard. So Khasa came down, and before the shoot, oh my God, hey, अभी तो चांदनी का टाइम नहीं है, चांदनी कैसे हुआ? I said because of light. Well, science का कमाल है. Okay, I'll change it to Chandni Kedara. So he started playing, and it was a continuous trolley shot. And I put a sort of a lamp, this old type lamp shade with a photo flood lamp, and with a little string. It was sort of they were swing. Suddenly, the lamp was burst and full of splinters all around on him. And the entire unit was so shocked what to do, because the bits of glass bits. And everybody was so concerned. I went to Khasa and he smiled. देखा गौतम बाबा, वो एकदम song पे burst किया. When I given the song, it burst. So this is the unending story of this great man. And unfortunately, of course, projection is good considering the old DVD. It was shot in 35mm in Benares. So original image was exquisite, very interesting. But here what we have seen is not even 1/4. But thanks to Shubrat and his team, we could see the film.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Why in the film you never thought of showing anything related to his personal life?
His life was around music. Personal life, I asked him, but he said that in the 10 points, remember, he said, don't ask me about personal life. Because, he said that I lost my wife long back and my daughter. My daughter was a great talent, and she could have become a great musician, but passed away. And I don't want to remember in front of your camera about that tragedy. He told me before. Another thing, it was so shocking that he told me that I'll come, and I asked Azhar, I've seen some photograph of you with a safa in a royal style. You used to play during the Darbar days in front of the great king sponsor of different small little priestly states. He said, okay, one day I'll do that. Because now I have to check inside my trunk. Those dresses are there, even the safa and the headdress. And those medals, full of medals, because in those days they used to put medals on you, gold medals. And he said, okay, this evening I'll play with that kind of dress, and I'm sure it will fit, because I've changed, I've become old. So in the morning when we went there, I found a very eerie atmosphere. Nobody's talking, whispering. And the son said, Khasa will not shoot today. I said, what happened? No, he's very upset. So then I went to his room, which was on the terrace. He said, I'm so sorry that I promised you, but I opened my trunk and I found the dress, but didn't find a single gold medal. And just imagine, I think, had it been my request to do this, otherwise he would have not seen it in his lifetime, checked it. So somebody has stolen all the gold medals. So actually, he had a large family, means, he used to support all the poor sarangi players in Benares. And he used to earn a lot of royalty from the record companies, because every house has a Shehnai record, either record or cassettes. He earned a lot of money, but he was such a simple man, like a fakir, giving money to others, to family members, to the poor musicians. So that's why I think, he was not very much concerned about his personal life or social life. His main concern was music and what's happening in our country. He was a little bit concerned about that. That it's such a beautiful country, should not get destroyed. And he was concerned about tolerance. That was his main concern, besides music. Okay. Any more questions, please? Yeah.
Goutam, certainly it is a wonderful film. But one to two things I think I was missing in the film. First thing, Ustad himself is telling that it is a scion of a tradition. And I think you should have shown how he is bequeathing a tradition. A guru lives, a Ustad lives. There is no mention how he is teaching his disciples, how he is transporting tradition to others. First thing. Second thing, I have heard Bismilah Khanji, at least I have heard two Jugalbandis with Ustad Vilayat Khan and Pandit B.G. Jo.
Yeah.
So that means Vilayat Khan had a very good chemistry with the other musicians of his time, stalwarts of his time. I think you should have shown that chemistry with the other stalwarts of his time. The comment of other great musicians about Ustad Bismilah.
Well, I didn't want to make a chronology, or write an essay on when I, because it was my visit. That's why we call it meeting a milestone, Sangamil se Mulaqat. And with Vilayat, he had many concerts, many brilliant concerts with Vijay Jogsav also. So I didn't want to show that, because it was that we have been to Benares, gone to Benares to meet him, and we came back. That's all. Because there is another film, a television film, where you have all the excerpts and things like that. But my aim was different, It's just go and learn something from him. It's not a documentation, each and every kind of chronology of his life. And he had no disciple except that garden sequence where he was teaching. You remember? In the Bagija. His family members were his disciples. And it's true. Whenever we say it's synonym almost, Shehnai is Bismillah, Bismillah means Shehnai. And perhaps very unfortunate, very few people are taking up Shehnai because it's a very, very difficult instrument to learn. And it takes years to get it. And now you see, I think one day it will be a dying instrument. You never know. Like Zitar. Zitar now has come back in some concert, European concert. Like Subha. Or even Sarangi is going. You see, in the concerts you hardly find people playing accompaniment, Sarangi accompaniment. Shahanai, it's a real tragedy after Bismilah. Anyway,
Okay, thank you for being such a wonderful audience.
thank you. Yes,
Thank you,
absolutely.
brother.
I'm so delighted. My pleasure.